welcome back to Paul Demo's Vlogcast. You know, each time that I record something or I shoot something on film or whatever it may be with the social media content that I use, I'm always looking to see how I can improve. Now, I remember going from recording with an iPhone 6s Plus to actually putting my earbuds in, and the content sounded so much better. It's kind of, each time we do something, we get better, we improve. Right now I'm driving and I'm running a little bit late. I'm going to, I do quite a bit of these, quite a few of these when I drive, because I drive a lot. I live in a busy place. Anyway, I'm going to get my son from school, and he gets out early today. However, I'm going to probably be 15 to 20 minutes late, but it usually takes him 5 to 10 minutes to get outside, sometimes 15 minutes, just depending on who he wants to stop and talk to and who wants to stop and talk to him. He and I we're matching twins when it comes to liking. We love to talk to people. We love to engage. We love to be around people. We love to make people feel better. We love all that. So anyway, I'm going to pick him up, and then my son is he's in the industry, and he has a audition tomorrow, so we have to work on his sides, and that's always fun. If any of you have children that are actors, I would like to know. Wow, that truck's loud. I would like to know the percentage of kids that actually like preparing for the auditions versus going to the auditions. And I'm always telling my son, well, if you want to stop, we can stop now. No, but he improves every time, and he gets quicker and quicker in terms of getting off book and getting a feel for his character. Improvement. Tony Robbins has a program. It's called CANI, Constant and Never-Ending Improvement, and I'm at my best vibe when I apply these things.
These principles
and
in my everyday affairs.
Obviously, in order to improve, we have to have an awareness of where we're at. I've never heard anybody that sleeps very good saying I have to get better at sleeping. But when we're awake, there are so many different things that we go through, and some things we notice more than others. And I just think that's the way of the source energy universe out there. Just saying, you know what, it's time for this, and when it's time for that, I'll bring that to you. Just keep your eyes open. Stay in a receiving mode. And that's kind of what I'm talking about here, is staying in a receiving mode in order to improve. And how do we stay in that receiving mode? We stay in that receiving mode by a word called humility. One of my greatest teachers, Dr. Wayne Dyer, taught me about the word ego. E-G-O, edging God out. And it's, ego, which both he and Eckhart Tolle have taught me, and I've learned on my own as well, that ego serves nothing. And ego and humility are like the opposites. The funny thing, though, is, and it's the law of opposites. You can't have one without the other. You can't have a perceived good as a perceived bad. You can't have a perceived right as perceived wrong. And it's the same thing with the ego and humility. So when I'm living what we like to call hostage to my ego, there isn't any humility involved. I'm right all the time. I know better than you. I know what you need to do with your life, and you need to listen to me or just get the heck out of my face because you don't know what I do. Well, maybe some cases that is right. Probably a lot of cases. But that's not practicing humility. That's not practicing being of service. we're not being of service to somebody to rule over them. We're being of service just as a kind gesture, and that's what we were meant to do, coming here as spiritual beings, living in this human experience. We're meant to be in service. So, getting back to being in the order of receiving, and so that way we can listen to what I learned as a still small voice, intuition. It's a feeling in our gut that tells us, most of us, that what we're doing is right, or maybe what we're doing isn't so right. It was explained to me once by one of my life coaches, and she said, how you know that feeling of intuition when you should follow it? It's kind of like that feeling when you get a call from somebody you haven't heard from in a long time, but you've wanted to talk to them and you've been meaning to call them. However, you, for whatever reason, didn't feel you had time. But getting that call from them, it's that warm, fuzzy feeling. So I've covered intuition. Let me get back to the law, the art, the law, the position, the whatever of receiving. We're able to receive these thoughts, and as we receive these thoughts, when we've been practicing or realizing our awareness and consciousness, we can kind of match those thoughts with things, or what I like is turn those thoughts into things. Creation. What am I going to create today? So, and that can be improvement right there. One of the areas that I don't want to say struggle with, but it's definitely a place of learning for me, and it always offers an opportunity for me to improve, is my relationship with my wife. Again, I know what's right for her, and she needs to do this, or don't talk to me, or whatever. Of course, I don't say don't talk to me. That would be stupid. That would be suicide. And to be honest with you, sometimes she's that way with me. I know I can improve in that area. And usually, no, all the time, when I come into that mode of, hey, I'm going to improve on this. I am going to improve on this. It is done. When I get into that is when I'm practicing humility, being humble, and the ego edging God out. I have an awareness of it, but it's almost like the ego is this person. I'm in one room, and in another room, on the other side of that closed door, is ego. So I know ego is in there, and we can also do this with fear too, and I'll touch on that later. I know ego is in there, but it doesn't have to rule me today. So let's see. So let's, I don't know, maybe take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20, however long you want to take, and think about 5 things that you could improve on today. You could improve on in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. What could I do in the next 20 minutes to improve on these 5 things? Take it one at a time, all 5 at a time. It doesn't matter. But something magical happens when we're in that mode of what can I improve on. I know, I just had a thought that what I'm going to do is I'm going to think of things that I can improve on that perhaps are areas in my life right now where I am feeling a little disturbed. Maybe some areas of importance, some areas that when I think about this stuff, I really have to go in thought. And it's like I have to prepare myself because there's some fear built in behind this. And, I'll think about these things and I'll write them down one at a time. And then see what I can do. As I'm sitting here, my mind always wants to go into the how are you going to do that? And, it isn't the how, it's the why. How is usually 10 to 20%. And once that why is powerful enough, when it has passion behind it, the how works itself out. We don't have to do a thing. We don't have to lift a finger. The Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu wrote, the Tao does nothing, yet leaves nothing undone. And that's when I'm in that mode of receiving, again, state of humility, ego, other side of the door, in the locker room, that is when these things come to me. I can't press it. I can't make it happen. Because if I try to make it happen, then I usually make a bunch of other things happen that I don't want to go along with it. But if I allow it, then it usually turns out pretty good. In fact, it turns out great. In fact, sometimes I'll be having one of the worst days ever and there's something that I forgot about. So I wasn't able to pressure it to happen, right? And that thing that I forgot about, that I had let it go. Let go, let God, as they say in the 12-step fellowships. That answer will come to me usually when I need it the most. Yeah, usually when I need it the most. I remember I was doing a recording a long time ago like this, and it was without the earbuds. Didn't sound very well. In fact, it's on my YouTube channel somewhere. And I had just pitched this person, this man. He did hard money loans. At the time, my credit wasn't that good, and I wanted 20 grand. I had a business plan. I had a way I'd pay it back, and I had some incentive of I was going to give him maybe $3,000 or $4,000 of my past career of carpentry and build him a patio cover. I was going to pay interest plus give him a certain percentage off of my company's gross revenues, the money that came in before anything was taken out for 2 years. And I thought for sure it was in the bag. And he texted me back and said, I'm sorry, I'm retired. And, I'm on limited income right now. There's a few people that haven't paid me back. There's really no way I can recoup the funds, so I'm going to have to pass for now. Right after I got done recording that video, or the vlog. And the vlog had something to do with thinking like a kid, right? Thinking like a child. What am I going to be? Am I put my Superman cape on? Put my Batman cape on? Well, anyway, there was no way in heck that I could go into a victim mode, a victim mentality, poor me, and blah, blah, blah. Why I'm always getting the short end of the stick. Right after I recorded a vlog. I mean, there's no way. I mean, that would have been like, okay, hang the gloves up. It's time to go flip burgers, right? So I decided to get a piece of paper out, and it was the paper that I was writing all of my expenses on. My web, my web designer, my bookkeeping. For 9 months, I was figuring all the prices: bookkeeping, assistant, which I never needed an assistant. The person that was gonna send you guys my bulk emails and my and post and help me stay active in terms of every day posting my social media. And I decided to do something. I was like, okay, Paul, this is the first time you've asked anybody for this $20,000, and it was a no. So let's write the no down. We got that one out of the way. Major League Baseball players get it right 2.5 out of 10 times, and they make $50 million a year, right? So I'm 0 for 1, big deal, right? So I decided to write no down all the way to 7. I checked on the first no because that was the no that I got. I wrote the no's all the way down, and number 7 was yes. The reason it was number 7, there was a day I was in alignment, and it was the 7th of that month, and 7s were popping up everywhere, right? Lucky 7. So I decided to put the 7. Well, more will be revealed on that subject. I'm going to make you wait on that one and let you know how that turned out. So anyway, have a wonderful, glorious day. And remember, go out there, kick it in the butt like you've never kicked it in the butt before. Love, live, laugh, be happy, go for your live from your passion, live from a purposeful, meaningful life, give back to society, allow people to give to you, and I will talk to you soon. Ciao.